In this video, traders, we are going to look at what does sit on your hands really mean. Stay tuned. Hey guys, warm welcome to you. So what does sit on your hands mean and why is it so important? So I think the first time I heard this was in this bad boy, Reminiscence of a Stock Operator. There's a new kind of version with a different cover, but I think I've seen about 50 different versions. I've probably got 3 or 4 of them. Anyway, but in here, Jesse Livermore says it's this making money is in the sitting, or paraphrasing, something like that. He basically says, hey, sitting on your hands is where the money is made. And I'm really thinking of that when I first read it, thinking, okay, what's the real meaning behind that? In actual fact, as you start to trade more and more and more, and you start to read more and more from other great traders out there, and you start to get experience yourself, you go, you know what? It's so true. Why is sitting on your hands so important? So the thing is, guys, if you sit on your hands, if you don't sit on your hands, should I say, one of the things that you start to do is you start to take substandard and poor trades. So imagine if you're not in a trade, sitting on your hands means that you're waiting for your opportunity. You're not clicking the mouse, you're not dialing the phone, you're not hitting your keyboard. That's where it comes from, really. It's sitting on your hands and not doing anything. But if you're not doing it, you're taking substandard trades, and it's tempting. We've all been there. We're there, we haven't got a position on, or we've got one position on, maybe it's just kind of chugging along. We want to find another trade because, of course, in our mind, the logic is, if I'm in a trade, I've got a chance of making some money. And okay, over time, that becomes, that wears out completely, and you realize it's not quite the case. But as a newer trader, you start to think, okay, well, I need to get a trade, I need to get into a trade. You end up taking a substandard poor trade that hasn't got the right risk reward ratio, hasn't really got a good setup. It's just a bit of a naff trade in general. You pull the trigger on it, you might make money, you might lose money, but over time you're losing money on those all day long. So you start to take substandard or poor trades. The other thing, which is a real crippler to your account balance, is you don't run trades that are working. So if you're in a trade, you've done all the hard work, you've fine-tuned your entry, you've pulled the trigger, you're in the deal, it's running on nicely, and then you start to think, oh, maybe it starts to stagnate a bit. As markets do, guys, they just rip off, do they? Or sometimes they do, but they just rip off in your direction. They're going to stagnate. Maybe you get a day of pullback. In fact, I'm thinking exactly the same. I'm in a trade now where I've had 2 or 3 days of massive move, and it's pulling back a little bit now. And it's just the way it is. It's not near my target yet, so I'm going to hold to my target or to my trailing stop. But sometimes if you're not sitting on your hands, then you get itchy. You go, oh, I'll just close the trade and look for a better trade. I'll bank my profit. You don't let the right trades give you the money that is actually on the table. And this is maybe slightly, we're segueing into another topic here about running the trades, but sitting on the hands allows you, I'm in the position, I don't need to do anything. And actually, just to live more in this one, I think it was his cotton trade, or someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but at some point in here, when he really said that was, I was trying to be too clever with things. I was closing positions. I was looking for more stuff to do, when in actual fact, he had his right position. All he had to do was let the trade mature, let the market do its thing, and then he could cash in. So, if you're not sitting on your hands, you're not running trades that are working for you. The other thing, guys, if you're over trading, if you're kind of actively tapping away and clicking away, you're going to potentially trigger trading on tilt. So trading on tilt is when you're trading with full emotion. You're angry, you've got revenge. This because when you're more trades you're taking, the more likely you are to be annoyed at your performance, and then you end up trading from an emotional perspective, which we know isn't good or conducive for long-term success, right? The other thing, guys, is come out of good trades and into bad trades. So when you're not sitting on your hands, you go, right, oh, well, I think that's a better trade. That's a better trade. And you might already be using a lot of your margin, and so you end up closing one trade into another trade. In reality, the trade you're in is fine. It's just maybe taking a breather. You're in a good trade position. You've got plenty of time left in it, but you think the grass is green on the other side kind of thing. You think you're missing out, and so you close that and go into another one. And then you're in a vicious cycle, because then you close that and go into that one. And it's a very unhealthy place to be. And the final thing, guys, is give yourself more work. At the end of the day, our work isn't done in the clicking of the mouse, unless you're a very active scalper, of course. Our work is done in the research, in the homework, in the improvement on yourself, in the improvement analysis on the market, on your prior trades. Then pulling the trigger is You know, how long does it take to click a mouse and open up a ticket? You know, maybe 10 seconds or so, bring your ticket up, put your order in, put your stop loss in, put your stuff in, click your order. So, you know, why give yourself more pressure, more markets to analyze, more trades to analyze, more work to do, when you probably in the right trade already? You probably just have to wait for the setup you want a little bit longer, be a little bit more patient with it, because less is most definitely more when it comes to trading. Now, I'm not saying that in terms of position size. In actual fact, you know, you want as much position size as you can comfortably handle for your risk to make the most that you can from the edges that you've got. But in terms of active trading, generally speaking, unless you're really active scalper with an edge from there, most of us, even if you're a day trader or swing trader, fewer trades, more strict with the criteria, and when you're in the trade, leaving it. And it's hard, guys, I know it, sometimes it's hard. You're in a trade, you've got a couple of trades running, maybe they're not quite going as you wanted them to, but they're not quite hitting your trading stop yet, and you'll kind of say, well, listen, I can't see any more setups. I'm in these trades, I'm waiting for other setups, there's other stuff I'm watching, hasn't triggered an entry for me yet, it's not past my filter criteria, so there's nothing to do. I don't need to be meddling with it, I just need to be waiting until my preset criteria hit, whether that's a reassess point, whether that's another trade that comes into view, triggered, whatever it may be, and then I can start clicking the mouse. And actually, as soon as we kind of become at peace with that, and understand that sitting on your hands is such an important part of the game, as Jesse Livermore said, then we can become better traders as a result. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye-bye.